Okay, today we're outside. You'll hear the wind. I'm going to talk pretty loud, but what I want to do is show you some stuff with gardening. I did it earlier this year, but this time we're really in it. I'm not a quick fix lady, you know that. Physical therapist, posture princess. I am a progressive change type person. Whether you want to garden, whether you want to do something low to the ground, you can actually really have an impact on your spine and hips, all your joints, knees, ankles, neck, they're all connected. If you will take on this one principle I'm going to teach you today. It's just one principle. Now, it is to sit low and to bend forward, which is not easy for a lot of people, so it's a progression for many. It is, for some it won't, but it strengthens your back, it opens your hips, and open your hips means to me, causes you to move well from your hips, which will always benefit your knees and your ankles, and strengthen, it'll help your butt be stronger, which everybody needs. Not everybody, but you know what I mean. So, this is called a tripod chair. This one has a wide seat. It's made by Field and Stream. It is lower than many of them. There are higher tripod chairs, but what I like is it's got a big seat, and that gives you a lot of room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to sit in it and how to begin to progressively get a stronger back, more open hips, and do stuff. See, we need to embrace the life movements we have. I'm going to say this and say this. Your life movements, your laundry, your dishwashing, your cleaning the house or getting in the garden, all these things are fitness that we have forgotten, that we don't care about, that we hire out or we can't do. And they are jewels. They are literal jewels to healing orthopedic problems. Yes, longevity, getting stronger, getting more attractive, because when your body is moving as it's designed, it just looks better. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start you off. I got this tripod, then I'm going to play with some buckets for if you don't want to buy anything. Okay, so I'm going to stand in front of this tripod chair. I'm going to turn it a little so you can see. I'm going to pull my shirt up so you can see. And I am going to have my fingers on my spine. So there's a little groove, there's a little gully there at the very base of my spine. If there is not one for you, then stick your butt out till you at least try to have one. Relax your belly. Relax here. Kind of like just look at a little baby, how they got that nice little tush, that little straight spine with a groove, and they have a relaxed belly. Being relaxed does not mean you're not strengthening. Okay? If I'm relaxed here, that doesn't mean I'm not strengthening. I am. Okay, so here we go. I place my hands on my spine so I know I have that groove. I put my feet apart. I turn my knees out the best I can. And I literally squat until I'm on the center of this. Now, this is low. I have mobility in my hips. You may go, whoa, I can't keep the groove in my back. This is too hard, I'm pulled over like this. Well, you can get a higher one, and you can get higher on one of these, some of these Home Depot buckets. I don't like the Home Depot buckets as much because it doesn't cradle and let your crotch drop, because it's a lot more comfortable when you do that. Okay.
Why don't you show them what it looks like with the buckets?
I was going to, but I'll do it right now. So this is two Home Depot buckets. Put your fingers on your spine and then sit down. The reason I don't like it as much is it cuts into the legs. It's not as comfortable, but it's someplace to start. You could get 5 Home Depot buckets. I don't care what you do. But again, if you're up way high, you can't reach down, and it does dig right here, okay? But that's it. It's an option. Maybe you put a little, you could put a little blanket or a little towel on top of it. But I like tripod chairs. Okay, this is a hunting chair. You can get a taller one. Now, here I am. I've sat down like I showed you. Spine is straight. I'm sitting on my crotch. What am I sitting on? My crotch. Think of the crotch of your shorts. That's the front. It's not the sit bones. Yes, my sit bones are touching, but it's like my butt is back. I'm sitting more forward. That's what you're going to feel like, that you're sitting more forward. Then, to bend over, if I bend over and I'm slumped like this, or what I mean is I'm C-curved like this, then I'm going to hurt my neck. And I don't feel anything in my hips. But if I bend forward and keep my back as straight as possible and do stuff, I really get a strong back and I get more open hips. It's not going to be easy at first possibly, but if you build a tripod that's a little higher and you're working a little higher, and then you may not be able to keep the arch in your back when you start. It doesn't matter as long as you feel that the stress you're putting on your body is in this area of your hips. As long as you feel the stress you're putting on in your body is right here and you're not real stressed in the back and neck, you will progressively get more mobile and you will have more choices, more strength, and choices like you could bring your butt up and you could work forward more and work around. Now, you can also get on your knees and do that. You can get knee pads or a kneeling bench, or a kneeling pad, excuse me. I like it for people to have choices. So you could get a little kneeling pad and you're working like this and you said, well, I want to be over there. And then you kneel on the kneeling pad, okay? Here's what you're looking for. You're looking for the bend in your hips with a straight spine. You're looking for relaxing the belly and sitting on your crotch. That's what you're looking for. I've taught bending a million different ways on my YouTube channel. It's no different other than you're going down lower and you're coming here and you're reaching and you're digging and you're pulling weeds or you're planting plants and you're coming forward and back. And then you can move your chair and you can go over on your knees, but you have this same type of positioning of the spine and the hips. And once that becomes a memory in your body, you'll see that it fits. It just fits so many things in your life. Picking up your shoes, picking up your laundry, carrying your laundry, to lift it and put it on your head or your shoulder. You will find that this movement is picking up a dog bowl. You'll find it everywhere. But this is kind of fun because you can sit down and you can go, okay, I'm going to try to keep an arch. Well, I can't keep an arch, but I'm going to still do some work. And you get up later and you go, wow, okay, I'm a lot more comfortable. My back doesn't hurt. My neck doesn't hurt. So that's really, in a nutshell, what you can do in gardening is move this baby around, get some knee pads if you like, but learn to bend and put the stress in your hips and out of your neck and the stress out of your back by using your back in a straight position to get strong. So that's that. Can I get close? Or you want me to stay here?
You can get close, but stay on the chair.
Okay. Here I am. My nose always runs whenever I talk.
You sort of just talked about it. Are knee pads better or worse for your back? Becky and Paige.
Okay, so it's not a better or worse thing. It's more of convenience. Knee pads are nice because you have more choices of moving around. But you may not really know if you're moving as well. I think you ought to do both. I think you ought to know what it is to sit like this, and then you go over to knee pads or knee pad, and you keep that same body posture of straight spine. So I think it's a preference. I don't like knee pads because if I get up and I want to go someplace, sometimes they fall down. So maybe a knee pad here, not connected. You know, you could push it around. So both, if you don't mind, I really would prefer you to try both. And then you will discover what is most convenient in your garden for you. There's not a better, it's more of what you're doing with your body in your garden.
Do you think I should start out sitting rather than just bending? Sammy in Tucson.
Yes, I do. And the reason is because sitting, you can rest some, and standing and bending it can be very demanding. So being able to go sit down on your crotch and rest, but still be in that motion, and then getting up and bending. I think we learn better when we can rest in between movements, but we're resting in a real centered, our structure is very centered, and then we're like, it just is more pleasant. And if it's more pleasant, we're likely to come back and do it more.
Let's see here. Is sticking my butt out more or having a straighter back, which is more important?
Both.
That is Eve and Flagstaff.
They're both the same, because watch, they're kissing cousins. If I'm slumped, if I'm a C, my butt goes under. If my back is straight, my butt is out. Okay? Whoa. No more questions? Hold on. I'm going to put this up. So let me demonstrate this, okay? I want you to get clear on this. There's not an either or. If I am upright and I put my fingers on my spine, you'll feel like you're doing this. If you've not done it, you're going to feel like you're like this, okay? But I want you to go to your mirror in your bathroom, and I want you to put your fingers on your spine. I want you to see that you're not like that you're just like this. There's a sticking out here, but I am not exaggerating it. I'm not exaggerating my structure, okay? There is actually nothing wrong with exaggerating this movement if it's very foreign to you. You know, when you learn something new, you have to exaggerate it sometimes to get it. If you're naturally sway back, well then of course you're gonna need to straighten your back a little more, relax this a little more. Most people I meet have done a lot of core work, and they've been taught to pull in, drop their tailbone, and I've had to help them undo that concept because it just gave them more tension and more pain. Now, you're going to work your core, you're going to work your muscles. You can't not work them because they're attached to your bones. I'm just more focused on your structure than your muscles, okay? So again, I've got my fingers on my spine, which will open my chest up, will stretch this out a lot, and you may get tired. Oh my God, I'm putting my arms on my back. That's so tiring. Well, you're doing it so you can find out what you're doing here with your hands. I put my hand back here, I get a twofold. I get a stretch here, or I used to, and I know what's happening back here. This right here is one of the hardest areas for people to get back to normal. Okay? So normal is that it's not hard for me to put my arms here. It's not hard for me to put my arms here. It's more natural for me to rest my arms here. Okay? So it's unnatural for us to be sort of stuck like this. So see, I'm going to exaggerate a bit for just visual effects. But if I am like this, my butt can't be out. If my butt is out, I just straighten up. Let's say this, they complement each other, they work with each other, and you're not going to hurt yourself if you go into a new posture like this with just some very simple principles I've just taught you. Okay? Good.
This is from Darlene in Longview. Can I kick my feet out in front of me more than you do when I'm sitting?
I would put them out to the sides, because if your legs are out here, it's going to be difficult to keep your body up. Most people are really tight here. But you could do this. You can kick them out that way. You don't have to bring your lower legs in tight, but you've got to have space in here. That's real critical. I can't tell you how important it is that if you don't have space in here, it's going to demand, this demands so much more flexibility than this. This gives you room. Think of a baby in a diaper. That was one of my first thoughts. If you look at a baby sitting on the floor in a diaper, that's how you want to sit. In the center, straight spine, legs open, and you got a lot of room. Then as you become better at it, you can choose, you have more choices. So if you got long legs, you can move them out in front, but move them wide. I like them in, but you put them where you want them.
Cindy in Albuquerque asks, okay, if I sit in a taller chair, that changes the bending angle that I have to go down.
Right.
Do I change anything about going down?
No, but there is kind of the other tripod chairs that are a little higher. They're not so much higher that they make bending a real pain in the rear. If this is really high, wow, you're right. That's going to be hard to get down there. But the tripod chair I'm talking about that's a little higher will not be a huge change in the bending. So my advice, play with this in your house. Sit on the edge of a piece of furniture watching TV and just practice keeping your spine straight. You know what I mean? Get that piece in you, okay? That's the most important thing, is getting the two to go together. I think if you can get your hips more mobile by opening them up on one of the tripod chairs where it's, it hangs, lets you sit good, then the bending gets so much easier, and that gives you more choices, okay? Gives you more choices.
Darlene in Longview, Washington asks, she already asked this. Serena in Page also says, is there anything I can do to ease the pressure or the work that I have on my shoulders when I'm bending over?
Yeah, sit like this. I don't have pressure. Now, you got to get more movement here. It's very simple. If I'm super tight here, where am I going to have pressure? In my neck. I'm going to have pressure in my neck. If I have more mobility in here, guess what gets freed up? Because my issue was always neck. I had more of a neck problem. So when I got really good at getting my hips open, it relieved my neck. Because if this isn't moving, something's got to move. Someplace the stress has to go. So your body goes to the joints that have the most motion. You have a lot more motion here and here. So if I'm tight here, guess what? I'm going to have more challenges here. So get in a situation like this, feel the need to bend a little, close your eyes, and you should feel like you're not real taxed here in the neck, shoulder.
Chevy in Phoenix says, okay, if I do have to rest, show me the best way to sit in the chair, and is there anything I can do to relax my shoulders and neck?
So this is not a chair. This is the tripod. Is he talking about tripod?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So there's a couple of things I just showed you, but I'm going to show you again. You can always put a towel or two in this tripod to make it a little higher. Same with the taller tripod, makes it a little more comfy. I'm going to shoot for my crotch to land on that. Fingers on my spine, legs apart. I'll turn towards you a little. Legs apart. Thighs gently turn out, but my feet don't. They stay planted. I go over, I'm shooting for my crotch to land on that in the tripod. That means the front of your pubic bone. That means I don't sit on the pockets of my shorts. I feel pitched forward. This is where most people are really tight, is in this area. So you will feel a stretch. And then my upper body doesn't have to take the stress. The stress is where it belongs, here. And then I'm free up here.
And the last one is, my neck is always stiff. Is there anything I should worry about when I'm bending over? And that's from Bob here in Flagstaff.
So what I would do, Bob, first of all, is I would always, in my other videos, I try to be as tall as you can in your body. I mean, it sounds so simple, which it is. Put a towel on your head, or a little light towel, and press up. This is not pressing up, that's face up. Press up into a towel. That will feel stretchy, but at least you'll know the direction in which your face is supposed to be when you start. My face is supposed to be there. You see that? Not here. Not here. It's there. So I'm stretching up. Now, when you bend forward, if your neck is really stiff, you can rest your arms on your legs. If you just don't want to use this for gardening, you can use this by just sitting. I have people watching TV and doing this. Just keep your neck in line with your shoulders, and don't exaggerate that. That's the start. I have other videos where you put a little bean bag on your head. That's where you really should start, is a little bean bag or a couple of wash rags. And you press up, and it might not be super comfortable, meaning you may feel a stretch, but the only way to undo stiffness is just to give it a little chance to move. If my hands are stiff, I don't stretch them real hard, I just kind of move them a little. Start progressively slow. So you'll be much happier in your neck like this than you will if you're slumped over. And slump is a C, and this is an L. Okay, that's that. Please email me if you have more questions at McCallMethod.com. You can just email me questions, comments, and subscribe and like and share and let other people know about this. And there you go. Have a good week in your garden or wherever you go. Sit in your crotch. Be in your crotch.